Hey, what's up guys? I hope you have an amazing day. Today we are going to speak about the top motorsport photography mistakes every beginners make, including me. I have made these mistakes and that's why I want to share with you all my experience and what I have done just to improve these mistakes and not make it anymore. So the first mistake we are going to have a look is the shutter speed. When we are going to the track race and we are going to shoot motorsport photography or any other action sport, we think we need to use fast shutter speed just to freeze, to get everything sharp and in focus with the car, because the car is coming with really high speed, and that's why we think, okay, the car is coming really fast, we need a really fast shutter speed. And then we use the shutter speed as faster as we can in every situation, in every moment, and then we start missing the really history behind the picture, behind the photo, because in the track race there are a lot of emotions, there is fast speed, there is too many things happening, and there is the excitement of being in the track race, and that we are going to tell that in the photo, in the frame of we are taking. Remember, we are telling an history, so that's why we need to capture as much as we can, and whatever we capture is the history we are telling to the audience. So if we use a really high shutter speed, a really fast shutter speed, it's going to freeze the wheels of the car, and it's going to be a lack of motion in the shot, basically freezing the car in the moment, and we don't see like something is happening. It's basically the car is parked on a track race, and it doesn't look really good. If we see this picture right here, you can see what I'm saying, you can see the wheels are freeze, and then if we zoom in, we also can read the tire's brand, and that is not good because we are missing the history behind that shot, and that is not really good. Even in this shot, I was trying to do the panning technique. I was panning with the camera, but I was using the shutter speed really fast, that you can see even though the car was freeze and you cannot see any motion there in the shot, and just miss the history on that shot. If you want to learn more when to use fast shutter speed or slow shutter speed, there is a video in the description below where I explain you all these techniques and what you can do with motorsport photography. Focus, as you heard it, is really important. I miss a lot of shots because I wasn't using the right settings, the right techniques or the right tools the camera gave me to have and to nail the focus, instead of using high shutter speed. Sometimes I was using slow shutter speed when taking the pictures. I thought myself like, why is not in focus? If I'm doing the right focus and right settings, why is not in focus? As using a slow shutter speed, there is one thing is called ghosting effects. As we see in this example, in this picture right here, you can see it's not the right focus. You can see it's like the car is not in focus, but if we zoom in, we can get more in detail what is happening in the shot. You can see in the letters, in the text of the car, you can notice how is a little ghosting effects right there. But if you zoom out on the picture, you will think at the first time it's like, oh, I didn't get the focus on the car. I might focus on anything else, maybe in the background or the foreground. But I didn't realize in that moment it was the shutter speed. So that's why you need to understand how the shutter speed works and what to use it. We need to use servo mode for cars because the cars are constantly in movement and going closer or further to the camera, and then with the servo mode we focus the car, and basically the camera is going to be in continuous focus and we are not going to miss that. Some cases and special occasions you might need to use one shot just to get the advantage of the situation, or maybe it's harder to follow the car, so then you set one point of focus, and in that specific spot, in that specific moment is where you want to take the picture. So that's why you are using, in that moment you are using one shot, because you want the focus to be in one specific point. Let's speak about the composition. Composition is crucial here to tell the history, to tell what is happening in the shot, to create the balance between the subject, the car, and the environment, the ambience, the foreground, the background. Every element is in the picture. So that's why we need to understand composition. We need to move around to find out the best angles, to find out the best spot to take a picture, to tell the history we want to tell what is happening in the shot. We need to understand how lead lines works, how checks, how to use the rule of thirds, how to create a balance in the shot. Sometimes we are using a telephoto lens and we get lazy, we stand in one place and we say like, just zoom in, zoom out from here, I take all the pictures as we want to, but then the picture sometimes looks boring and we don't want that. We want to enhance the picture, we want to have captured something like we don't normally see with our eyes. We want to get something more excited, something really nice, and that's why you need to go lower, move to the right, move to the left, find out the lines, find out something in the place that you want to really capture. Just pay attention every detail. Maybe it's a little jump, maybe some sparks coming out from the cars in a specific bend or something like that, and you want to capture that little sparks. So that's why you need to go a little bit lower just to capture that moment, to enhance a little bit more, to make the car looks more predominant, to looks more stronger, or you want to use little lines just to lead the audience to see the cars. But sometimes, as we can notice in the racetrack, there are too many objects and distracting objects. We need to avoid those in the composition, and we need to avoid those in the moment. Just to need to move a little bit to the left or to the right, maybe find out another spot that is still having the shot you want to, but then you avoid those objects that get distracting in the shot, and you don't want that. But in some cases there is a jump or there is something specific that you, even if you move around, you will get those in the shots anyway. So in that case is when you go to Photoshop, just take your time, do it really well. Don't make it like it's obvious that something was there and you just remove it. Other mistakes we make is not using the Instagram and the tools on the camera. The Instagram is really important. There are two things in the camera that help us to nail the exposure. There is the exposure meters and there is the Instagram. The difference is the exposure meters, normally we set a spot meter in the camera that normally is in the center of the camera. Is this rule over here where 0 is the right exposure, on this side is overexposed, and then on this side is underexposed. This you can see it when you're using the viewfinder of the camera to take the pictures, but remember, as I say, it's in the center of the camera. If you focus, for example, in this case on my face, it's going to be the right exposure, but then if you move the camera to one side, it's going to measure the exposure in this point and not in this point. So the difference with the histogram is that you see this image right here, and you can see it's a sunlight on the window behind me, it's a shadows, and there is black. We have blacks as well. The Instagram, what does is to tell you the highlights, the whites, the shadows, and the blacks, and it's measuring everything and the midtones as well, and let you know if it's something is sparking, is overexposed, or if there is something that really dark and really black, and it gives you a balance in all the image around, not only in one point. That's why it's important to use the Instagram. As we are going to do action sport photography or motorsport photography, we want to use continuous shots because why not? Our camera have like 1,000 shots, not 1,000, but I have like, now these days can take like 100 shots in 1 second, or can take 20 shots in 1 second. And that is brilliant. We think like, oh man, I can get this many shots in 1 second. That's brilliant, it's amazing. And then as the cars are coming or any action is coming, we just press the button, leave it there, and we shoot 20 photos or 100 photos in 1 second, and we freeze every moment, and that is great. It's like, okay, I'm playing safe because I'm taking different frames in the same situation, and then in post-production I can choose the frame I want to and have the better option. Sometimes some shots are in focus, some of them are out of focus. Problem is when we overuse it, because what happens if we are 6 hours or 8 hours shoot in the day, we are shooting 100 pictures on the day, right? Let's say you are just going to the track day because you want to practice, you want to learn how to use the camera, and you want to improve your skills. So it doesn't matter if you are taking a picture of one specific driver or you are taking a picture of all of them. So imagine in 20 minutes for a race, let's say there is a race that runs for 20 minutes and there are 20 cars. So you are going to take picture of 5 cars, let's say 5 cars, not the 20s, and then you take 20 shots for each car. So in one event that it comes, it's going to be 20 shots by 5 cards. It's going to be 100 photos you already have in your memory card, and then you move around and you take another ones. Let's say you fire up 10 times, so then it's going to be 100 pictures for those 5 cards, and then you fire out 10 times, it's going to be 1,000 pictures already just in 20 minutes. So imagine then you are spending the day there, 6 hours, 8 hours. How many pictures you're going to have? You're going to have 6,000, 8,000, 10,000 pictures. That's cool. We have too many pictures to choose from. But then the problem is in post-production when you want to choose the pictures. There are too many options, there are too many pictures that only seeing the amount of pictures you have, you get like overwhelmed and you say, oh, you know what? I will edit them later. Or maybe you spend too much time selecting the right pictures. Is not really worth it. We have to control ourselves and not overuse the continuous shots because we get excited. I admit it, I get excited. I want to fire out the shutter speed and just shoot as many pictures as I want to because the moment is really great. It's jumping. I want to capture the car jumping every moment. I want to capture the car drifting in the bend and see how it drift all the bend, and because it looks really amazing every moment. But sometimes we don't really use those continuous shots in one frame. It's like if we tell the history like a video, if we use those continuous shots, it's going to look so right because it's going to be a photo sequence. But sometimes we only use one frame of those 20 shots. Fire out the shutter speed and the sensor, and remember there is a worth life of the camera that we need to save as well for other pictures and other moments as well. I have made this mistake, to be honest, because I get overconfidence of knowing what I'm doing, of knowing what settings I'm using, the situation. I feel like I know what I'm doing, and then I just say like, you know what, I have everything in the camera, I come take the pictures, the things I want to. I miss to check the settings when I get back to the editing room. I start noticing it wasn't sharp, I wasn't taking enough pictures. That's why you need to prep before you go to the shoot. Take your time, don't be lazy, take your time and check the settings that you're using, if it's alright with the composition you want to and the picture you want to take a picture of. The mistakes I make is like sometimes leave the white balance as it is, using the servo mode or one shot from the last or the previous photo shoot I was, and then I just didn't change it, and then I realized, oh, I need to change it to servo mode or one shot. The other things happening is to me is like I'm shooting the cars, I have the focus selection with cars, and then when I go to the pits on the paddocks, I need to change it for subject because I'm taking pictures of the people there in the garage. I don't change it, I just carry on taking the pictures with the subject selection, with the card selection, and then it struggle to take the picture of get focus on the people, and I struggle myself just to doing that, just not taking the time to change it to subject, and then when you go back to cards, change the focus to a card subject selection. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I didn't know I have made too many mistakes, that's why this video is part 1 of 2. Leave your comment below if you have made these mistakes as well, or if you have made any other mistakes. Hit the like button if you like this video and subscribe if you're not, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.